there, done that. A saying that takes on a whole new meaning when it comes to our next guest this morning. They've literally been all over this planet.
Oh, yeah, and they show no signs of slowing down. Dave Cornthwaite just traveled by recumbent bike from California to Memphis, got here the other day. He's now headed to his next adventure on Monday, which starts on the Mississippi. And Dave is here this morning with a man we all know and love, Dale Sanders, who is a graybeard adventurer. You've been on many times with your various adventures. How old are you now, Dale?
I'm 84.
Man. And still going strong.
So, Dave, you want to be him when you grow up, right?
Can't you see I'm starting to model myself on Dale here?
I usually tell everybody I'm 42.
Twice
times 2.
Got to cover there. I like the way you say that. So, Dave, how did all this kind of start for you? I mean, just to be all over the place and involved in so many different adventures. Where did that spirit come from?
Back in 2005, I had a job that was sucking my soul. and I woke up and had a conversation with my cat. And my cat basically said, I'm happy. Why aren't you happy? You've got a choice. And after that, I decided to say yes more. And that became a motto that took me through a whole bunch of adventures. I tried a new skateboard. I skateboarded across Australia. And that was the first of a series of 25,000-mile expeditions, which I'm still taking on, all without a motor.
All without a motor?
I've got to ask, what is a recumbent bike?
So a recumbent bicycle is a bike where you're sitting down, very comfortable seat.
Wait, Dale, whoa, wait a minute. You are really showing us up again this morning.
As demonstrated by my model.
Yeah. You're the Vanna White, right?
But doesn't it take a very special or perhaps a unique person to live the type of life that you and Dale live?
I don't think so at all. I think we all need to try new things every single day and have an optimistic, open attitude to find out what our potential is. If we sit in the same place every single day and don't try these new things, we'll never know who we could be. And I guess that's my life force. And I mean, Dale's a great advocate of that.
A great example.
Well, he actually, when I started my adventures, I was around 77. When I first met him, and he is the reason why I paddled the Mississippi River and the reason why I hiked the Appalachian Trail and the Florida National Scenic Trail.
I first met Dale when I was paddleboarding the length of the Mississippi back in 2011. My first time in Memphis. This has become my second home.
Excellent.
Great community who really appreciate the river, but also the environment around.
So you're from Great Britain. Are folks there more in touch with the earth than in America, or do you find that Americans do spend more time outside and are more in touch with? Which is it?
Well, obviously the two lands are very, very different. You've got so much open space here, whereas the UK is a small little island.
Appreciate it, do you think, as much as we should?
Not everybody. I think there's big urban populations, and on the whole, they don't tend to get outside as much. And being out there in nature and enjoying it means you care for it a lot more. If you spend all your time in a city, you're not really in touch with it. And I think we're all wild animals, ultimately. The infrastructure around us has developed so fast, we haven't quite kept up to it. And that's difficult for our mental health.
As we look at some of the video right there, Dave, what have you found out about yourself along the way? Because obviously I think you have a little time to do a lot of thinking, a lot of soul searching here. But what have you found out that even surprised you about you?
Sometimes too much time. There can be a limit. I think it's really important that we're all comfortable in our own skin. And once you get to that stage, you're probably in a much better place to have a relationship. My wife, Emma, is just off screen. And we had our honeymoon on the Mississippi last year, about a year ago. So we paddled on down, dressed in our wedding gear. Wow. Dale put on our honeymoon reception in his home in Memphis.
A honeymoon reception, not honeymoon.
Okay, so I've got to ask, what's on your bucket list? Having done so much, what is that one thing that if you could do it, you could say, okay, I can die happy?
Apart from modelling my old age on this one, I've completed 15 non-motorised journeys over 1,000 miles so far, so still have 10 of these to go. And I'd like to cycle around the world with my wife and maybe a couple of tiny humans when the time comes.
Oh, wow. Now that's a job.
That would be a challenge.
That will be a challenge.
How about you, Dale? What's on your
bucket list?
Well, I'm going to finish, this fall, I'm going to finish hiking into Springer Mountain, and that will mean that I've hiked everything from Key West, Florida to Mount Katahdin in Maine.
Okay, is that going
That's
to break
about
another record?
4,000
Because
plus miles.
is that going to break another record? Because right now you have the record for the Mississippi.
I'll have a record, but another age record. But I have to finish the last part of that Eastern Continental Divide Trail, which will be the following year, and that's called the International Appalachian Trail. It goes from central Maine to Gaspé in Canada. Up at Newfoundland.
I bet that's gorgeous.
The man just continues to inspire you, does he not, Dave?
Of course. I mean, the message is on his hat. If you say yes more, you end up doing these things.
You know, that slogan, when he first came up with that slogan, I thought he was crazy.
And then you started saying yes, and yes, and yes.
Yeah, well, actually, now it's become so well known all over the world that it was a brilliant idea.
If I may say, one of the biggest excuses that stop people going off and doing new things, they use their age as an excuse.
Yes.
And Dale is a great example.
Yes.
He's 84 years old and he's got more youth in us than most of us.
Yes.
Well, I can make mistakes and get by with it. I just tell them, I'm 84.
Just blame it on a little, dementia or something. Everybody will buy that.
See you again, Dave. Glad to have you here.
Launching Monday.
Yeah.
Thank you
very
so
much.
much for doing
Say
that.
yes
Really
more.
appreciate
Remember
it.
those words. Say yes more.